Jaslyn, why is working with an agent so important?
This is
Why
a
is it
really good question.
why is it so important?
Yeah, so working with a real estate agent. I always tell people, yes, you can buy a home by yourself. Okay? You can do anything yourself. You can do your own hair. You can tune up your own car. You can build your own house from scratch. Look it up on YouTube. You can do anything by yourself. Okay? But is that the best thing for you? Is that the most efficient thing for you? It's not. It's not always is. Now I know there's a lot of talk going on in community, and I've spoke about it briefly. Well, really not the community, but all over the country. The new, NAR settlement or whatnot, where now buyers are responsible to pay our agents. But let me tell you guys, sellers are still paying. They're still paying us. We're still getting paid by sellers. There are some sellers now that are a little bit crazy, and there's one in particular. They've already said, "Oh, we're not paying commission." Well, do you want to know what the client said? Okay, we're going to move on to the next house. Why would I pay an additional, 7,000, 8,000 for that house when every other home, it's not the same situation. The sellers are still paying closing costs, or they are still paying the agent commissions. So although rulings have changed, the standards are still somewhat the same. The sellers are still paying us. So guys, do not let that freak you out. We have our ways to still get paid within the transaction without additional money going or coming out of your pocket. We still have that. So don't worry about that. But let's talk about why having an agent is so important. One of the first important things is when it comes to the contracts, knowing what's in that contract, how to prepare that contract, and making sure that contract works in favor of you, your timelines, the dates that you need, the terms that you need. That's nothing that we would expect the average everyday person to understand right off the bat. It takes us years of training to be able to become good negotiators, to know how to write in good terms that are going to make the seller happy, but also works for our clients. That comes in with negotiating. Also is our experience when it comes to market knowledge, when it comes to negotiating, how to get the best deals, how to communicate with these other agents. Guys, it's not as simple as just writing an offer and sending it in. Because if that seller has 5 offers sitting in front of them, what's going to make them pick yours over the other? So you have to understand the market. You have to understand what's going on in that particular area that you're looking. If you're writing offers in one part of town at one price point, it's a completely different market once you move to another part of town and another price point. Two completely different markets, two completely different ways you have to go in order to get the home that you want. Industry expertise when it comes to even pricing. Just because a home is listed at a particular price doesn't mean that it's going to sell at that price. It doesn't mean it's going to appraise at that price. These are all things that we're working on your behalf when it comes to inspections or even before inspections. I always tell clients when we're going to view the home for the first time, I'm going to let you look around, fall in love with the house. Oh, I love the bedroom. I love the kitchen, X, Y, Z. You want to know what I'm looking at, Glenn? I'm looking at the roof. I'm looking at the electric work. I'm looking at the plumbing, the major mechanicals in the home, the hot water heater, the AC unit. Are there any loose wires hanging out anywhere? Is there any wood rot anywhere? Now, granted, I am not an inspector, but there are things that we can see with our eyes. And so if I see some of these things are potential issues, like roofs, for example. Roofs are a biggie right now. I will not let a client buy a home with the old roof. And if you do, you're going to sign some paperwork saying that you know that this roof is old. Okay, because it will be difficult to get insurance based on the age of the roof. So I'm protecting you from having those issues. I'm at the very least going to let you know up front, hey, this roof is a little bit older. You're going to have to prepare to replace it in a couple years. Or I had with one client, we wrote the roof into the contract. We got the seller to accept the contract to replace the roof prior to closing. And that was in the initial contract or the initial offer. I wrote that. We didn't wait until after inspections to come back and cry about it. I can see this up front.
This is why I need to work with an agent.
This is why you want to work with an agent. Okay, because why even go under contract with that house? Waste your money on inspections, waste your money on appraisal If the roof is no good, you can't get insurance on the home. So we want to address issues up front. I like to set people up for success. That is what we do. We are setting you up for success, even when it comes to getting pre-approved. I'm not spending a lot of time on this topic, but even to when it comes to getting pre-approved, when I'm telling you, hey, we're going to get with the lender, we're going to submit all our documentation up front. You know, with some of our lenders, we can even get you through underwriting. So that way, once you're under contract, you don't have any hiccups. You've already cleared your conditions, or at least you know what they are. So you're working on clearing them. There are no hiccups while under contract. No, oh my goodness, we need these IRS documents, and we know how long it can take the IRS to get stuff back to you. We don't want those problems while we're under contract. So we're going to work proactively. And also, when it comes to submitting offers, we're at an advantage because our lender's going to call that agent and say, hey, they've already been through underwriting. All they need is a contract and an appraisal. That offer is going to be 5 times stronger than the competing offer that just has the same terms, because yours is more so guaranteed success. That's what sellers want. They don't want to put their house on the market for it to come back, you know, or take it off the market, go under contract just to put it back on because this buyer couldn't close. So having an agent is not required. It is not required. But if you want a smooth, successful transaction, if you want expert guidance when it comes to market knowledge, negotiations, if you want someone fighting for you, rooting for you to get you the best deal, the fair deal. And guys, the best deal doesn't always mean the cheapest price. That does the best deal does not always mean the cheapest price. Okay?
That's a hard one to take.
That's a hard one to take. That is a hard one to take. But if I'm having the seller replace the roof, do the electrical panel, yeah, you may have to, you know, split that with the seller or put some money in that by going up in purchase price just a little bit. But it's going to save you so much money in the long run on insurance. And now you're not worried about replacing the roof. You got a good 20, 25 years warranty on that roof, if not 30-year warranty on that roof. So now that's something you don't have to worry about. And yes, it was worth going up a few dollars to take care of that and not have that issue. So again, that is what we are here for. 407-906-8886. 407-906-8886.
Join us again next week for RealEstateCentralFlorida.com with Harry and Jaslyn Being of Being Home Advisory Group and your home sold guaranteed realty, your radio realtor.